Round 12 team list. This one's going to be interesting. So I haven't looked at it yet. I see Fletcher Sharp on my screen and that scares me a little bit. So we'll see what happens when we get to the Knights. Who else we got on there? Mr. Ramian. Oh, we see a Mr. Arthur and Dom Young. Okay. All makes sense. Well, why he would be coming back into the side. But Bulldogs and Dolphins. We have less team lists, so it should be a shorter video. I will go through and discuss the cheapies, and cash outs. I'll have a bit of a discussion around that. So I won't go deep into them here, but I'll mention options and then I'll deeper dive in a separate video. Now for the doggies, we see Hopboy. I got to work that one out. So get in the comments, teach me how to say that one. Mitch spoke about him, so make sure you do go check out that video. Hasn't got as many views as normal, guys. So get in there. He talks some lovely rubbish, we'll call it. What do you say? He just loves getting on and just chatting away, work out what comes to his head. So get around that one. He's on the charge himself, and he's got an awesome plan for you going forward. He mentioned him, and he's definitely one of the cheapy cash outs that we can look at heading into this week, and he could potentially play an extended role in other weeks as well. Now, the back seven, the only guy you should be looking at here is Burton, given he has lost a lot of cash and is in a good spot to do some good things. Tracy got thrown up last week, but he also threw up. We also threw up at his score with how poor it was, so we'll avoid him for now. Josh Curran returns in the middle. Excited to see him back. It very much is going to help this side. You'll see Harry Hayes on the edge, which is something we saw last week as well. And Sam Hughes gets a return back in the side. Very exciting on that one. And Jakey Turpin in the 14 jersey. And probably plays a little bit of a middle role and a little bit more of the Bailey Hayward situation there. So only options I think you can look at is Hopboy, Burton, Curran, Kickow is an interesting one in the edge, given that's a little bit tough. Curran, we will mention him in the buys video, so make sure you check that out. And Bailey's moved to 13. So that's that. They gain Curran back, but they lose some more forwards in Maxi King. For the Finns, we are looking at Herbie Farnworth being a very, very high upside guy this week and a potential captaincy option as well. Captains we'll get into later in the week once I've done a little bit more of a deep dive. But Isaiah Katoa, an impressive half at the moment, could go on to be one of the greats that we do see the way that he's projected right now. He's scoring awesomely for NRL Fantasy as well. So get a look at him this week. If you're looking at the forwards with Gilbert out, we should see Finefiriaki and Lemuelu both getting clear opportunities to play big minutes on the edge. And now with Lem, who's kind of been on and off the bench playing limited minutes, he becomes a little bit more of an option at a cheaper price as well. So we will discuss him in that buys video as well. We still don't see James Kay, the poor fella. So yeah, that's tough news for him. Kurt Donahue scored well last week. I don't know if you can jump on, but yeah, it would be definitely a bit of a risk in that one there with Hammer, Gilbert out. Whereas for the for the doggies there, you got Saluka Fafita, Karaz, Kurt Mann, Max King, Stephen Crichton out in this one. And looking at what they've named, there are a lot of forwards. So, Hopboy did play decent minutes last week and probably stay similar, to be fair. Backline, it's all guys that we know that aren't cheapies or aren't, getting a clear opportunity to do well for us there. Now, the Eels and the Seagulls. With the Eels, we see Yongi at the back, which is good. Sam Rani goes into the centres with Russell onto the wing. Riley Smith is named. That's good news. And Kitioni Katonga is on the bench. And there was a post that came out about predicted 13s or 17s there. And Katonga was put on the bench. And I was like, yeah, that's not happening. That is not happening. He's playing too good at the moment. Their team remains relatively similar with Dean Hawkins coming into the 7 role. Guys of slight interest this week as buys, Jack Williams, after how well he played last week. I've seen a couple of people pop up and mention him. We'll briefly talk about him in this week's video. Katonga, a very clear hold this week and a play. We'll have to see what's happening with the Knights, but I think at this stage I have 3 centres if Lucas is available. Now, the Eagles. For them, we have Turbo there. I still don't think you can pick him. Like, he could probably be solid, but yeah, he just doesn't look like it right now. And against this Eels side without Moses, we know where they were at. Without Moses and Lomax, it could be very tough for them. I think Ruben Garrick a really good purchase this week, so we'll deep dive into him and that lovely price that he's presenting. Now, for the forwards is where it gets a little bit more exciting. Luke Brooks is going to take over a bit with Jake Arthur playing second fiddle here in the halves. But in the forwards there, we've got Jazz Tavanga as the main guy on our list. Matt Lodge is in this interchange. Croker is back on the bench with Corey Waddell, Brown, and Lodge. So Jazz, you're still probably expecting some decent minutes, but I personally wouldn't expect the 70. We've got Gerbo, who did suffer concussions. He'll just be out for the 1 week, and they don't really lose anyone, do they? That's the problem with looking at Jazz, is the fact that when Gerbo's back, the minutes probably shift again. Like, unless he gets lucky with injury for round, he should do well this week, but for round 15 and 18 there, he'd need to get lucky, I think, to get big minutes. And I don't know if you want to make a trade based on that at this stage. And then Burbo, a really good 70 odd last week, and has a lower break even because of it. Can you trust that he can continue doing good stuff? I'm not sure, but that's that team. Panthers Knights, who we've got Fletcher Sharp at 1. Holy. There you go. That was the big news. Don't know if that is incredible, but hopefully if it's a dry track, we'll see. It's meant to rain all week. If it's a dry track, I think it could be fun. But that number 1 position hasn't been very good for scoring. Hopefully it's more of a round 1 or round 2, Kalen Ponga, type of scenario, rather than what it has been of recent history. But yeah, okay, Fletcher at 1. Yeah, I suppose he's in our wing fullback slot. He should play fullback at some point. So there you go. The rest of their squad, you got Kyle McCarthy coming in. You've got Fletcher Hunt in there. Oh, Thomas Cant. Back to the bench. That hurts my... Damn. I actually probably do all right. That hurts my Supercoach team. But does help that Lucas is named. All right, let's see if that actually sticks and he continues in that spot for Dylan Lucas. Who else is the change there? Leo Thompson has been named. That's great news for owners of him. Kaipi's Paul, a great edge option. Yeah, Thomas on the bench there. So looks like he at least will play, which is good. And that means Lucas is a really decent chance, which it kind of seems that way from him not being named on the injury list. And it was a possibility that it could be a 0 to 3 week type of injury. But I imagine there is aggravation risk and maybe he doesn't play the full 80. But we'll look to loop, I imagine, with guys like Katonga on that bench there, and we can decide edge and center what we do with that that score there. Kyle McCarthy will be on the list of guys to have a look at, and Fletcher Hunt as well, who didn't play very good, but we have seen Kyle McCarthy before. I remember a while ago, so we'll have a look into those couple of guys. But yeah, the team doesn't change drastically with just a few guys out there in Safidi and Ponga, with Lucas sticking in that side. I missed the other team, didn't I? Getting all excited about the Knights. Now, Panthers, they do lose a lot of players. Snyder comes in. We still don't see Jack Cole, which is pretty wild. He's on the interchange. We are missing an edge for some reason. We have Liam Henry only, and Lindsay Smith in the 13. Now, this is Liam Henry week, that's for sure. The problem with him, yes, he hasn't been scoring very well. He's very cheap. The problem is not that. The problem is the fact that they miss 15 and 18. So, yeah, if he played 2 of the 3, I think he'd be an awesome pick for these weeks. We know he can score really, really well. If you're holding on to Jenkins, he keeps his spot. It is out in the wing, though, and it will be next to Casey McLean. So that is very, very sad, I think, given we know that he just doesn't get any footy when Casey McLean's next to him. So that's a loss. And I can understand if you want to upgrade, but Jenkins has done really well the last couple of weeks and will have a low break even. So I think you hold him, you try to loop beforehand if you do have more wing fullbacks, and if you're just locking in with him, you're probably just going to have to wear it, aren't you? So there you go. That's that side. And we do have Pateo. He does continue on the bench. He's one of those other cheapies that is an option, but I do think having a starter in the boy at the Dogs would be slightly better. Isaiah Papali's out as well. Okay, didn't realise that. What's going on with Isaiah? What happened to him? You have to find out. Let me know in the comments by the time this comes out, guys. But yeah, so he's out as well as, all the Origin guys. They have 5 Origin guys, and Luke Garner's out as well. What happened to Garner? Move to the back row. What? Why does it say they're out? Are they not out? Oh, maybe Isaiah Publi is in here and they're not showing it. Wild. And where's Garner? Well, Garner's there. Says they're out. There you go. One of them's probably in that spot and one of them's out, maybe. There you go. All right, Roosters Sharks. Roosters, we see Nwangani Tawaze come back into the centres. So he will play next to Dom Young, which is actually pretty interesting. I'm keen to see how that one plays out. Smith and Savala keep their spots. We have Zach Docker-Clay in the starting jersey with Makahisi Makatoa. We got Feketi starting, Egan Butcher along with Wong, and then Victor Radley in the 13 in the end. So he didn't have to move out to the edge. They're playing him in 13 with Egan out there. Nat Butcher gets on the bench. I'm not sure how many minutes he'll come in and play straight up, given he's come back from injury. But yeah, he's a potential option. I saw some people throw around there as well. So we will mention him with Nafahu White out and then being short on middles. I do expect him probably just to come out and play normal minutes, 50 odd in this one there. So Wong's a hold in this one. Zach Docker-Clay, potential buy, and we'll talk about him in the cheapies. Savala, probably hold. Nwangani Tawaze you can buy. Tedesco you can buy as well. Like, yeah, the team's not that terrible. Still really strong in the outside backs, especially that back five is pretty wild. And they still got Radley. They've still got Egan Butcher, we know has done good things, and Siwa Wong. So it's really just these couple of guys. But we know that we've seen Feketi come out and do great work. Steep's been good off the bench, and Nat Butcher will play big minutes anyway. So that side, while they may lose, I think they'll put up a fight. And the Sharkies, on the other hand, Hiroti is back, so good news for him. And anyone who randomly held in Supercoach, happy days. Iro is a potential buy in this side. Same with Nico Hines. Just see how he fits your side there. He's very similar to ICAT, and I'd have him as a buy over Hines at the moment. And then him and Fogg's very, very similar, but just have different buy schedules there. Okay, Adam Fanua-Blake, a guy to clearly look at this week. Do you want to spend that cash on him, or do you want to go a little bit less in another way? Now, elsewhere, Billy Burns still keeps his spot. Tig Wilton is available in the reserves again, but he was last week as well. All right, the rest of the side there. McKinnon still a potential option. Nikora a cut price option, but hasn't been scoring particularly well at this point. And I think that'll be it on those guys. Finishing it off with our lone Sunday game, the Wars up against the Raiders. And for the Wars, we see Roger on the wing, Capewell's still in the centres with Pompey. And then, the rest of it stays the same in that back seven. We have Jackson Ford returning, which is good news for him. Halasima keeps that role in the back row. Wade Egan, Aaron Clark. Definitely still a good option, I think. Just continues to score well, and he should continue to do so in this side. You have Lea Ta'ua in the reserves this week and could potentially work his way back into this side. So, keep an eye out on him. Okay, not really too much else, I think. If you've got Metcalf, you're holding CHT. Similar thing. Halasima, an easy play. Could be bought if you want a cheaper edge as well. And the Raiders there. We've got Tamale, an easy hold and play this week against the Wars. Hopefully it's a pretty close clash. They're not missing too many players either side. They've still got their, we'll say most important forward because he has been for a long time, but Hudson Young has been incredible, so they lose him. But their back seven stays, who played really well last week. Fogarty still a good buy. And then you've got Starling, the hold, Corey Horsburgh and Tarpany start up front. Corey you can buy as well. We'll speak about him. Sasangi gets the edge spot for Hudson Young being out. Hosking still a buy if he didn't last week. And Morgan Smithies, what about that last week? He looked really, really good through the middle. So we may have to mention him in our buy, hold, sell as well. So guys, I'll do a quick video on cheapies, and then they won't be in the best buys video then. I'll just have a separate one for them. The best buys and the fire sale as well for the holds and the potential sells. Heading into this week, as well as another video, will be around just going through the guys in the VIP group for my private crew and a deeper dive into some teams. I did a few too many teams last week. I wasn't able to go in as deep, but this one I'll look at their buy schedule and where they're at coming into that as more of a deeper dive on footystatistics.com. So can't wait for that. That's going to be good fun. make sure you do have a look if you want to join the private crew for the rest of the season. $30. Info's down in the description, along with the link to the Facebook group that is open. So the free group there as well, which has like 1,400 members, which is fun. Yeah, so good stuff there. Thanks for that one, guys. We'll leave the team list there, the analysis, and we'll see you in the next one.